Picture this. You wake up in the middle of the night. A strange silence fills the air. It's not the comforting kind. It's heavy. You feel something watching, lurking just outside your field of vision. Your heartbeat quickens. Your breath slows. But there's nothing there. Or is there? Fear? It's always there. It whispers. It lingers. It shapes every move you make. You don't see it, but it governs your choices. And that's exactly the point. Because fear isn't just an emotion, it's a tool, a weapon. And they've been using it against you since the day you were born. The invisible chains. How fear controls you. What if I told you that you don't need bars to be imprisoned? That the most effective prison is the one you can't see? A prison without walls, without guards, without locked doors. Yet it keeps you exactly where they want you. Silent, obedient, afraid to step out of line. Think about it. Every major system that governs your life relies on fear. Governments justify extreme measures by convincing you that danger is always looming. Media feeds you an endless stream of anxiety-inducing news, keeping you hooked on the next catastrophe. Corporations use fear to sell you products, convincing you that you're not enough, that you need to be richer, younger, more attractive. Society teaches you to fear judgment, to fear failure, to fear being different. But why? Why is fear the key? Because a fearful population is an obedient population. You don't have to force someone to conform if they are too afraid to challenge the system. You don't have to silence people if they censor themselves before they even speak. This isn't speculation. This is how power operates. Michel Foucault, one of the most influential philosophers of the modern age, explained this perfectly. He described the Panopticon, a prison designed so that prisoners never knew if they were being watched. The genius of the system was that the inmates policed themselves. They adjusted their behavior out of fear, without needing constant surveillance. Our world is the ultimate panopticon. We live under constant observation, or at least, we believe we do. Every search you make, every opinion you share, every move you take online is recorded, analyzed, and stored. But here's the real trick. Even when no one is watching, you still act as if they are. You self-censor. You hold back. You conform. And that is real control. They don't need to control you. You do it to yourself. Fear doesn't just keep you in line. It shapes your entire reality. Think about the biggest regrets in your life. The moments you held back. The risks you didn't take. The dreams you abandoned before even trying. Why? Because fear whispered in your ear. What if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if I lose everything? And so, you stayed where it was safe. You obeyed the invisible rules. This is why fear is the most powerful tool of control. It doesn't need bars. It doesn't need violence. It just needs you to believe that stepping outside the lines is too dangerous. But here's the truth. The real danger isn't in taking risks. The real danger is letting fear dictate your life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them." This is where they've tricked you. Fear isn't in the external world. It's not in the government, the media, or the economy. It's in your mind. Fear is just a story you've been told, and the more you believe it, the more it controls you. Ask yourself, how many times have you hesitated before saying what you really think? How many times have you chosen comfort over challenge? How many times have you accepted a life that's smaller than what you deserve, just to avoid risk? Now, look back. What was the worst that actually happened? Most of the time, the things we fear never come to pass. And even when they do, we survive, we adapt, we move on. So if fear is nothing more than an illusion, what happens when you stop believing in it? How to break free from fear? Breaking free from fear isn't about eliminating it. Fear will always exist. The difference is, do you let it control you, or do you control it? 1. Face fear head on. Most people run from fear, but the only way to defeat it is to walk straight into it. The more you confront fear, the weaker it becomes. The things that once seemed terrifying, speaking up, taking risks, standing alone, become nothing more than temporary discomfort. 2. Stop seeking approval. One of the biggest fears that keeps you in chains is the fear of judgment. But here's a secret. People will judge you no matter what. Whether you succeed, fail, stay silent, or speak up, someone somewhere will have an opinion. So why live your life for them? 3. Take radical action. You break free from fear the moment you act in spite of it. The moment you do what scares you, despite the doubt, despite the discomfort, you reclaim your power. Every time you take a risk, fear loses a little more control. And before you know it, it's gone. The final truth. They fear you waking up. Here's what they don't want you to know. The moment you stop fearing what they want you to fear, you become untouchable. When you stop fearing failure, you take bigger risks and grow stronger. When you stop fearing judgment, you speak your mind and inspire others. When you stop fearing uncertainty, you move forward and become unstoppable. They control you with fear. So what happens when you take fear away? You speak, you act, you live. And that is the one thing they never wanted. Fear is the key, but the key was never theirs to hold.